Okay, we are on the record, and this is 200 voice practice. This is technical in nature, so it's a bit difficult. And I am Mr. Parchan for the plaintiff.
I'm Mr. Melodia for Defense 1.
I am the witness.
I'm attorney for defense 2, Mr. Kildreth.
Let's begin on page 179, line 3, and we're in colloquy with Mr. Parchan.
We lost that.
Oh, no.
I get it.
Okay, I'm
It's so funny.
Don't start for a minute. And then it's one of those laughing that's been long.
Oh no.
Okay, Mr. Parchan on the record. 15th. Counsel, would you have any objection if we were to analyze that core? I know we have a problem with testing after August the 1st, but I would ask if you would permit us.
You'd like to look at that core under a microscope rather than doing anything destructive? I would think that would be reasonable.
May I take this exhibit 13 with me today?
I will work out some arrangements with you afterwards. I am amenable to that sort of thing.
All right. Now, do you have any diagram or any method of or anything in writing that you would indicate to you where the area of the corrosion, in your opinion, happened to be on the core of T13?
No, I didn't do a schematic. I have 2 photographs, but they don't show the core.
I do not want to remove the core entirely out of the T13 exhibit, but do you have any opinion as to whether or not having subjected the core from T2 to your sticky test as we see it in T13, if the corrosion, if any, has been removed?
If any, I would assume some, but I think you would still find the areas of corrosion.
All right. Now you examined the liner that you removed from T13, from T2 rather?
The liner, yes,
You did?
I did.
Did you find any evidence of wear?
I found that it had been used. There was dirty discoloration. The liner was complete, intact. There were no points that the core had gone through the liner.
Well, when you cut into smaller sections of approximately a ½ inch, did you make any attempt to evaluate any wear at all on the idea of the inner liner?
You mean the bore size or that? No, I merely looked at it.
I'm looking at it now. Did you form any opinion as to whether or not there was any wear on the ID of the inner liner?
No, as I said before, it had been used. There was discoloration, but I didn't measure the inner diameter.
Was any of the discoloration red in nature on the liner?
It was more darkish, blackish.
Grayish sort of appearance?
Yes.
No rust type of appearance? That is correct, is it not?
Well, rust isn't always red. If you want it to be so, it may not be. Iron oxidizes can be a whole bunch of colors, red or black.
Yesterday, we went into your examination of the outer sheet. Is there anything you want to add to it? I believe you indicated you merely looked at it for the purpose of trying to set up the testing that would be done on the subject sheet. Is that correct?
You are referring to his item 1 on T21, Harold? Yes.
The sheet, yes, you have put it into some note of bore scope photos, T4, and you asked me at that time whether that was all that was done. Now, the purpose of the bore scope photos that we have of the sheath of T2 was to establish bore scope parameters for photography. I checked with the photographer and found we also had a color set which was done. Initially, it was scoped in black and white, and then it was done after with that information in color. And so I will give you a package of color photographs also.
May we have that marked exhibit T25?
Is T25 different than the photos you were going to go through last night at the end of your examination and segregate?
Yes, yes. I wasn't aware of the existence of those.
Let's take a 15-minute break. Dr. Anderson, you have handed me a stack of photographs, or slides, I should say. I guess that is photographs of the core, the outer sheath of the T2 cable, correct, sir?
Correct.
Do you have any notes concerning the examination of the T2 sheath?
By bore scope?
By bore scope?
No, none except what I gave you.
By any other way?
No, this was done to determine photographic parameters, so I have no notes of that.
Have you looked at those photographs that are marked T25?
I looked at them to determine that that was pertinent to this case, yes.
Did you at any point prior to just now go through these photographs and analyze what is there? In other words, what I am trying to save some time on, is there anything in there that is of any interest to me And should I take each one of them and have you go through each one of them? Or is it just nothing?
There was nothing in there that I saw of any interest.
Let me ask you then a couple of questions. Did it show any evidence of metal-to-metal contact?
No,
The answer, I assume, is no, correct?
correct.
Did it show any evidence of rust?
No.
Throughout the whole outer sheath?
You mean the length of the inner diameter of the outer sheath?
Fine.
I can't answer that because there was just one insertion. As you recall, on our master sheet, it was inserted all the way. This was held on the end and different exposures were run through. So I can say in the photos that there are signs of rust, but whether it's a whole length, I can't answer that.
When you took the core out of the T2 cable, did you find any debris?
No,
When you took the sheath out, did you find any debris?
there may have been a little bit of dust or rust, nothing significant.
There was some rust or dust?
That is my best recollection.
Going back to T20, you then
T20?
T20, you then stated that the core was used in the sticky test, liner used in the cross section, and that takes care of the T2 cable. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Then
Oh, I should have said that that liner has been marked I3, that exhibit.
You then have a TA 1000 Exhibit G.
Yes,
Do you have that cable here with you, sir?
yes, I do.
And that cable had 210,000 miles on it, is that correct?
That is what I was told, yes.
And this has been marked Exhibit G, is that correct?
Correct.
When you received Exhibit G, was it in the condition, I now see it?
You mean with the end cut off and the wires splayed apart?
No.
No, I splayed them apart to look at the wires.
do we have a photograph of this in any of the,
I think you have photographed it in connection with his first deposition.
If it turns out that it was not, I don't have the deposition here with me. I do, but I don't know if it has exhibits. If it turns out it was not, may we have it photographed?
Sure.
Why did you, at the carburetor, and cut the core?
I wanted to look at the wires, as I previously said, count them, look at them. I noticed that this is a different cable. I could show that best. I show it best comparing did you say carburetor end or did you say throttle?
I did say carburetor, I was in error, put pedal end.
Thank you. I was confused by that. You notice there is a long metal piece on T2, which is at the foot pedal end, and that one was a very short piece. So we are talking about a different type of cable.
Is that the only difference you noted?
That was one difference I noted.
Any other?
No, I was curious about what the cable might be in the shorter piece, so that is why I frayed it up like that and looked at it.
You mean the core?
I'm sorry, the core.
What was the core? Was it a 7x7?
No, if I recall, I counted 19.
1x19?
Yes.
Stainless steel?
I didn't do an analysis of it. There have been some more. I put that magnet on it to see if it was magnetic, and I just don't recall the results.
This is not the type of cable that was used in this accident vehicle. Is that true? Is it not?
When you say type there, you know,
How familiar are you with the cable that was used in the accident vehicle?
Not terribly familiar, but it has some differences that I would call that a different cable system.
Cable?
Yes,
As I look at your T20, you say you tested the resistance, and on the straight routed position, it was 28,000. I mean, 28,000 grams. Oops, 28 grams.
28 grams.
28 grams and 60 grams routed. Is that correct?
Correct.
And the routing was which one? The IH routing or your severe curve routing?
No, it was the IH routing.
And did you route it more than once in either one of the positions?
No,
at any time did Exhibit G of your earlier deposition, which is the 210,000 mile cable, did it ever stick,
no,
bind,
no,
seize,
no,
or malfunction?
no.
All right, then on the T20, you have Exhibit H, new cable. May I see that, sir?
Yes,
Now, this again is not a cable like the one that was on the accident vehicle, is it, sir?
that's correct.
Is it not?
It is not, is a correct statement.
Where did you get this cable from?
I also received this from Mr. Melodia. It was useful in planning routings.
Did Mr. Melodia tell you where he obtained this?
If he did, I have no recollection of it. I don't think so.
off the record.
Did you look at the core on Exhibit H to see if it was stainless steel or galvanized?
No, I did not.
7x7 or 1x19?
I did not interpret or determine that.
All right, now Exhibit T7, new cable. Again, on T20, you put down Exhibit T7, new cable, then you put 500 dirty cycles on examination.
This is a metal test bed, and afterwards it was cut apart and described here.
I am a little bit at a loss to know why this was put. Did I not cover something you wanted to cover?
No, I wanted to keep everything organized, and so it's totally covered, I believe. Yet I put it in just to keep straight. I had previously said that I had, I believe, 4 cables. When I counted, I had 5 cables that had been looked at or something had been done by me. And there is a 6th one, which was taken by me, but was not experimented with.
All right, then you have here Exhibit T7, 500 dirty cycles on test bed examination. I have covered that before.
Yes,
Exhibit T8, new cable, 500 clean cycles, 1,500 dirty cycles on test bed examination. I have covered all that.
yes, sir.
The main thing I want to know, did you at any time on any of these cables ever get a malfunction?
We have talked about the malfunctions. They had nothing to do with the cables.
Forgetting about the malfunctions that were caused because of the jig or the testing device that had nothing to do with the cable itself. Did you ever have any of the cables you looked at and examined the malfunction?
No.
Okay, this is 5 minutes of warm up from what will then be a 12-minute 200, and we're now doing the court. And I am Mr. Emerson for the plaintiff.
I am Mr. Nguyen for the defense.
I am the witness.
I am the court.
Okay, let's do this in 14s. And we're going to start with Mr. Emerson. So we'll be about 210 here on the record. And he told you you were under arrest for being under the influence of drugs, right?
Yes, he did, sir.
After he got you in the car, how long were you in the car before Deputy Rivera got into it and you guys drove off?
Not very long, maybe a minute.
Okay, do you remember Deputy Rivera asking you if there was someone that could take custody of you so he didn't have to drive you all the way?
Yes,
And did he ask you for a phone number of someone he could call that could come pick you up so he didn't have to take you all the way to the jail?
Objection, relevance, asked and answered.
Overruled.
can you repeat the question, please?
Do you remember Deputy Rivera asking you for a phone number
Yes,
of someone he could call to come pick you up?
yes,
So the person that was supposedly trying to set up this fight with you was trying to get you out of the car before you even got to the jail. Isn't that true?
that was prior.
Yes or no? The person you say is trying to set up this elaborate fight with you was trying to get you released to a relative 10 minutes outside the reservoir. Yes or no?
Yes,
And Deputy Rivera, after you gave him a phone number, called your relative?
yes,
And did you hear that conversation?
yes, I did.
And after trying to get this relative to come get you so he could stay on patrol, the relative never came. Isn't that right?
Objection, lack of foundation, personal knowledge
Goes to his state of mind.
as to Deputy Rivera's reasons.
Read back that question, please.
Objecting to the stay on patrol part.
Why don't you rephrase it?
Did Deputy Rivera communicate to you that the relative that he called wouldn't come get you?
I was able to listen to the phone call.
And did you take from that phone call that your relative wasn't able to or couldn't come?
The relative was unable to come.
Did that make you mad?
No, it was.
Yes or no? Did that make you mad?
No,
After that, did Deputy Rivera tell you he was going to have to take you to the jail?
yes,
Didn't that make you upset that your relative wouldn't come get you?
no,
Isn't it true at that point that you got hot with Deputy Rivera and started threatening him?
no,
That didn't happen. After Deputy Rivera tried to get you released to a relative, he then drove towards the jail. Is that right?
yes,
You say at some point he stopped the car to talk about fighting.
yes,
Was that before or after he tried to release you to your relative?
after.
Okay. And how long were you supposedly on the side of the road when this happened?
He pulled the car over and it was long enough for him to step out of the vehicle, open up my door to the vehicle, and then tell me to get out of the vehicle. That if we wanted to fight, we'll do it right there on the side of the road, and I refused.
Objection, non-responsive as to the length of time. I asked the length of time he was stopped on the side of the road.
Sustained. That portion of the answer will be stricken.
After Deputy Rivera tried to get you released to your relatives and you say he stopped the car, how long would you say you were stopped on the side of the road?
Maybe 2 minutes.
Did he stop in a parking lot?
The side of a road by an orchard.
At some point, you ended up at the county jail. You remember that?
Yes, sir.
And then he took you out of the car. Is that correct?
Yes.
Prior to that, do you remember him doing some paperwork in the car?
That was stated. I don't remember seeing it.
When you got to the jail where Deputy Rivera parked the car, did you have to stay in the car for a while and he was,
There was a few minutes in which we had parked the car at the Modesto County Jail. Probably a 2-minute or 3-minute duration in which I sat there for maybe 4 minutes at the most.
you're saying that you were in the car for 4 minutes before Deputy Rivera got out of the car?
I would say,
Well, you say
if
you're
I
positive,
recall correctly, it couldn't have been more than a couple minutes.
more than 2 minutes?
A couple minutes.
What were you doing in the car during this time?
I was sitting in the car and I'm not sure what Deputy Rivera was doing.
Was he talking to you?
He had stopped talking to me at that point.
At some point, you got out of the car, is that correct?
I was asked to get out of the car by Deputy Rivera.
And then you go inside into the Sally Port area, caged area of the jail.
I was being escorted by Deputy Rivera.
When you get to the jail, first of all, the outer door opens to let you in, isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
And you get to the main area where you guys had the altercation.
Yes, sir.
When you're going into that area, you testified he was talking about wanting to set up a fight with you.
He had already talked about setting up the fight prior to us getting there.
How old are you, by the way?
31.
At the time, were you 30?
I was 30.
You were thin back then,
Like I said, I was fighting methamphetamine use, so I was thinner.
and you're in pretty good shape, walked 17 miles to Woodward Reservoir.
Objection, withdrawn.
Okay, that's gonna end our practice session.